Hi, how you guys doing today? This is William Myers. Today we're just in the backyard looking at some plants that are in the backyard. You don't have to be miles into the woods to learn about wild edibles. Just don't mow your yard for a week or two. Go out back, see what you can find. Don't go away. Alright guys, so let's talk about this one first. And what we got here is dead nettle, purple dead nettle. It's also called, purple archangel. And it's called that because I believe in Europe it was named that because it blooms over there. In the Julian calendar it was May 28th. And that was the Archangel Michael's day in the Julian calendar. So that's why it's called that. Here it usually blooms around April 21st through the 28th, somewhere around there. It's not a set date. It's not like, you could set your calendar to it. Oh, the purple nettles are getting ready to bloom. No, they bloom whenever they want to. Anyway, this is in the mint family. It is a Lamiaceae. It's got a square stem, almost like cleavers, but obviously doesn't have the barbs, that basically the stickers that cleavers has. You could identify this from the way the leaves droop. Like I said, it is in the mint family, so it has those kind of woolly, hairy leaves that some of the leaves in the mint family has. I'm going to go ahead and pick this one, get it really close into the camera for a better ID. Let that zoom in. Hopefully you guys can see that really square stem there. Let me get that pulled up there. And this whole plant is edible. You see those flowers there. And this is one of those things where, somebody's gonna be like, oh God, I have these all over my backyard. I've had them. I've seen these things for 30 years. Yeah, you just walk over these things until you know what they are, and then you're going to see them everywhere. You'll be driving 65 miles an hour on the freeway, and you go, hey, look, there's dead nettle. Right, dead nettle is really high in iron and vitamin C and other vitamins as well. Those are just the two that stick in my mind. You'd have to research the rest on your own. The whole plant is edible. That being said, the whole plant does not taste very well. Alright, like I said, this is in the mint family, and it is edible. The entire plant is edible. Leaves, flowers, stems, everything is edible. The taste of this, in my opinion, it's really strong, grassy. I really don't like the taste of it. It is okay if you boil it. About 2 tablespoons of leaves, boiling water poured over those 2 tablespoons. Don't go very far from a bathroom, because this is a pretty strong laxative. So just keep that in mind. This was used to cleanse the kidneys and things like that. If you read anything from Culpeper, who was a 17th century writer, they used to use this for hemorrhaging, especially in women, but I don't really think that there's any true scientific background to that. But that's neither here nor there. That's just from my research. But if you bruise these leaves and you put them on like a cut or a scrape, it's going to staunch the bleeding, and it's going to help with the healing process. So that's good to remember. That's dead nettle. Alright guys, so what you're looking at, obviously I just turned the camera about 2 inches, because right there is common mallow. And I use this plant for a lot of different things, but the leaves are very mucilagenic. It actually is pretty good for putting in like a bearing block in a bow drill set. Getting that greased up so the friction in that socket's not very much. These are edible. They taste alright. They're not bad. The real prize is for what this plant is actually nicknamed for. A lot of you may know this as cheeses. Some people call that cheeses. And the reason why it's called cheeses is because the seeds and the pods come up They look like little cheese rounds, little wheels of cheese. And when I was a kid, and I seen those, man, I was in the garden and in the field all day long picking them things. They're like, it's almost like a nut, if you could say. It's real crunchy. It's really, really, really good. Has almost like a sesame seed, or not sesame seed, sunflower seed taste to it, I guess you could call it, if you're going to describe it. Texture and taste. It's really, really good. So definitely check that out. Alright, so we're still in the same general location. Right over here is the dead nettle and the mallow that we were just filming. We haven't moved very far. Don't need to move very far, because right here we have Violet. Alright guys, so yeah, like I said, this is Violet, and my grandmother used to always look for these to come up, and she would pick these flowers. And you can see they almost look like how jewelweed hangs, in my opinion. I don't know, I'd have to research it. I don't think they're relative at all. But you can always tell these from the 5 petals. Let's see if I can't get a close-up on that. I really try to get close-ups on all of these identifying key identifiers of these plants. But the 5th petal is always going to have that. Even, oh man, it won't focus. Come on, damn you! There you go. See that 5th bottom petal. But the way it sits, the way it hangs off of its own stem is really key. But these flowers and then the stems are really, really good, really edible. Here you go, Megan. You want to try one? The violet stems. Mm-hmm. Let me get you on camera here. Alright, so I gave Megan a stem from a violet. It's her first time trying one. Go check it out. Yeah, I always remember seeing my grandma going through the yard picking violets, and it was one of her little springtime treats. Not bad. Mm-hmm. Sort of got like sweet. Sweet sour, almost not as bad as wood sorrel. Mm-hmm. Wood sorrel is a little bit more pungent, a little bit more powerful. Yeah. Pretty good. Mm-hmm. All right. All right, guys. So the violet leaves, like I said, leaves, stems, and the flowers are all edible. I know the leaves have been steeped. I've read some things saying that they were steeped all night sometimes, and then that was a kind of a tonic for relieving throat cancer. The pains of throat cancer. I know it's been used for skin washes, but I'm sure you guys have seen like candied violets and things like that before. This is one of the plants. It doesn't last very long. It's not up for very long. The leaves are up a little bit longer, but the flower petals and the stems, they're not around for very long. So it's one of those things where you can take advantage of it when you can. They're pretty good wild edible to eat, make teas out of, things like that. Alright, here's a pretty good opportunity to show you guys something that's really common. Is 2 different species that are right next to each other. And I get people with this all the time. To your right of your screen is Broadleaf Doc. To the left of your screen is Burdock. And I'm not even going to begin to tell you the medicinal values of both these plants. There's so much. I really want you guys to look this up on yourself. Go ahead and Google this, get a book, something, especially burdock root. There's just so much that can be done with this plant. You really need to research this yourself. Broadleaf Doc, the one that's on the right here, it's also called butter dock. Settlers in the American pioneer times used to wrap butter in this to hopefully give it a longer shelf life. And I could go on and on and on for days about dock. Spatter dock, yellow dock, curly dock, broadleaf dock, burdock. I mean, there's so much and so many of them. I'm going to do one video of nothing but burdock and broadleaf dock, and that's coming up really, really, really soon. And I'm just going to fill up the whole video of nothing but the medicinal and edible practices and uses for these 2 plants. Alright guys, so we're still in the same general location. I have done, all the things that I have done is went about 180 degrees in a half a circle. That's the only thing that I've done for all the plants that you've seen on camera right now. And right here is red clover. And obviously red clover and white clover, both of them are going to have these little V's, the white V's in them. Red clover is the one that is way bigger, you know, from anywhere from the size of your thumb to even up. White clover, and I'm sure I got some around here. Yeah, that's right behind me. White clover is way smaller, and we're going to be showing that yet here in a little bit. But this red clover, it is, I believe it's April, what is it, 30th? Today's date, April 30th? Yeah, okay. So this hasn't bloomed up, hasn't come up yet, but you know, everybody knows red clover. It comes up, it's got the purple heads on it. Those purple heads are really sweet, really good to eat right off the vine. The leaves are kind of not that great. It helps if you boil them and then change the water and boil it again, you know, kind of if you really had to eat it, I guess. Tinctures can be made of the flowers and the leaves. And again, that same thing with the Burdock. I'm going to do a video on nothing but that. We're actually going to make a red clover tincture this year, so stay tuned for that video. Alright guys, well this is a Plantago. Actually, this is a Broadleaf Plantain. And one of the real easy ways to identify this plant, if I can get that in the camera, is you see the stem. It's got that almost like canoe shape to it. And what that does, you know, this sits in a rosette, and the water hits the leaves, and that canoe just really channels the water straight into the root. And, you know, obviously the veins on the back, even with narrow leaf plantain, same thing. Most of the plantain species, that's a really key identifier to that as well. You know, this plant is really important to know because it can relieve the itching and stinging from poison ivy. It can actually prevent poison ivy. It has worked on me. That's all I can say. I've had people say that it doesn't work on them. I am allergic to poison ivy, and I've been through poison ivy before and not been able to find jewelweed, but plantain's everywhere. I mean, they call it white man's foot for a reason. Everywhere you step, it's there. So I've rubbed plantain and it's an astringent on where I believe I've been exposed to poison ivy before, and I haven't gotten poison ivy before, and I am highly allergic to this stuff. Let's see. Those plantain, especially broadleaf plantain, grows probably like a 6 to 8 inch long seed pod. You know, and it's one of those things. Again, these are all over your front and backyard. You'll know it when you see it, and you'll know the seed pod when you see it. Those seeds can be crushed up and thrown into low levels of water to use as it has juggling in it, so it can be used as a fish shock to collect fish, which it doesn't hurt you, so just basically removes the oxygen from the water. Broadleaf plantain has incredible drawing powers, and it's really known especially for those drawing powers. This can be chewed up or pulverized in some way and put on bee stings, splinters, anything that you want to draw to the surface of the skin. You know, let it be a bee sting venom, the toxins from that. I've even heard cases of people putting them on copperhead bites here in the eastern woodlands. Obviously, if you are bit by any kind of a poisonous snake, get to a hospital. Don't go grabbing plantain and thinking you're going to be okay. Obviously, I know you guys aren't stupid, but I just have to put that disclaimer out there. Plantain absolutely can be eaten raw. In my opinion, it has like an earthy, mushroomy taste to it. It's not really that bad. I find it rather pleasant. Early in spring, it's better. Later in the summer, the plant takes on more of its astringent properties as a defense to the bugs that are attacking it. So then it has more of an astringent, dry your mouth out taste. But right now, especially, it's pretty decent. The smaller leaves is what I would, well, especially that bad boy right there. That was good to go. And, you know, that one would be alright. I think Megan's in the background picking bunny food.
Yeah.
Some Broadleaf Doc. What you got there, Broadleaf Doc?
Broadleaf Doc, dandelion, plantain, and my next one's Clover.
Happy bunnies, happy bunnies.
Oh yes.
Here at the Myers Ranch, the bunnies are very fat and happy.
Yes.
Until the day they are not happy anymore.
Until the day they become stew.
Alright. Alright, well there's plantain. Let's kind of do a little bit of a walk. I'm not going to show you guys dandelions. Sorry, but everybody knows what dandelions are. Oh, Megan got one in there. I guess Megan's going to show dandelions. She don't care, huh? Hey, so right on top of the bunnies, we have some grapevine. And if I pull back here, actually it's funny, that right there, that is wrapped up in that grapevine right there, that is a dead pokeweed berry colony. But if we look in the background here, we can see all kinds of little grapes starting. The sad truth of this is that we won't get any of these grapes. The birds attack all of these, and you know, I'm not going to put a net over them or anything like that. Just let the birds have it. Alright guys, so this has been William Myers from Mantisoutdoors. Like I said, this has been pretty a quick video showing you guys some of the plants that are just in my backyard. You know, and I get a lot of questions of what are the best places for me to go out to identify certain plants. And 9 times out of 10 I say, well, walk out your back door. You know, these plants are just as well in the woods and in the edges of fields and in tree lines as they are in your backyard, at the edge of your garage or at your fence line or in the middle of your yard, you know, what have you. You know, these plants are out there for you to identify and use. You know, we don't mow our lawn in certain areas because we use a lot of the medicinals out here. You know, we use the violets, we use dock, we use burdock, broadleaf doc. So let's look at mine for a second. Chicory grows in my backyard. Goldenrod. I mean, there's so many things that grows right in my backyard. What's that? Clovers. Connor's saying clovers, clovers, clovers. You know, obviously we feed our rabbits the clovers and the docks and the plantains and even the dead nettles and things like that. We don't feed them too much of the mint family, the Laniaceae. It's not great for them. Every now and then it's okay. But again, like I said, this has been William Myers from Mantisoutdoors. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, click subscribe. It helps me out a lot. Liking my video also helps me out a lot. Appreciate all your views, comments, and support, and hopefully we'll see you out in the woods.
Bye.
Hey, how you guys doing? This is William Myers from Mantisoutdoors. Today we're in the background looking at some wild background. Fences in the background. Hi, I ain't got down. I died doing. Talking about the tide. Hey, how you guys doing today? This is the Australian William Myers. Hi, how you guys doing today? This is William Myers from Mantisoutdoors, and today we're just in the backyard, and I can't talk still. I cannot talk. I don't get it. 3, 2, 1. Seriously? Are you kidding me? I bet you do. Alright guys, here's a plantago. Actually, this is Broadleaf Doc, or Broadleaf Doc. This is, yeah, let's do that again.
Derp, derpity, derp.
It's a plant. It is green.
Plant.
This one will not kill you.
Eva. Plant.
Plantain is a really good plant to know. It has kind of a mushroom-y. 3, 2, 1.